Good day, everyone. This is Sydney Lefofe of SL Podcast. It is yet another day, another time. I'm very excited again today to be sharing information with you, the information that is meant to change your life and make you better. Today's topic is exciting, and I'm very excited to be sharing with you this particular topic. Without counsel, purposes are disappointed. It is very important for us to understand that we need advisors, we need counsel, we need people who can give perspective to our struggles. All of us, every now and then, we experience some things which don't go the way we want, and we need to understand that we all need counsel. We all need guidance every now and then. This is something that we need to understand, because without understanding, we will struggle in our corners, hoping that we are smart enough and we know enough, while in the actual fact, we need someone who can give us a little bit of counsel, who can give us a little bit of guidance and advice, so that our journeys can be a little bit easier and better going forward. Life can be tough sometimes. The cruelty of life can squeeze out our good intentions, our zeal for life, and everything that is positive. And whenever these things are squeezed out, we feel the pressure, and sometimes we don't even feel the zeal to be alive anymore, because we are totally under pressure. We are pressured from every angle. Every now and then, we need someone who just come to our lives and tell us to chin up a bit. We need someone who will come into our lives and tell us that it will be okay. We need someone who will just be there to guide you through your tough patches in life. Those are the people that are very important in our lives. If we don't respect and value the people that can tell us to chin up and people who can tell us to forge ahead, there is a tendency that we will drift off course into nothingness. We will just be overwhelmed, and we can't even cope with the simple things that we can be coping with. Every now and then, life will knock the air out of our lungs, and we'll be left panting for air. That is life, and that's how life will always be. From time to time, there are things that will just come and sweep the carpet out of our legs and under our legs, and we are left wondering what is actually happening. And sometimes we'll be panting for air. We'll be struggling because things are not as we thought they will be or as we want them to be. Sometimes we are left to deal with disappointments, things not going the way we want. That's life, and that's how life is. And we need to understand that even when those things happen, it's not like it is the end of the world. With people who have gone through the same struggle, they will be able to put perspective into your life, and you feel better that somebody is taking you by the hand and leading you on. And those are the people that are important. We need people, good counselors around us. We need people who will give us perspective going forward. Sometimes we become so overwhelmed that we lose perspective altogether, and our spirit can sink so low that our souls cannot comprehend or keep up with the demands or the day-to-day demands. That is life, and that's how life will always be. And in cases where we are overwhelmed, we need a sober mind. We need somebody who have gone through what we are struggling with and who can tell us that it is okay and it will be okay. We'll get to the other side okay. Those are the words that we need. Those are the counsel that we need. Because when we are pressed and we become overwhelmed, that's when a lot of people hurt themselves. That's why a lot of people make wrong choices and wrong turns. That's how a lot of people get to addictions and bad behaviors in trying to cope. Those are the things that happen when we are not in the environment of good counsel. Whenever our spirits are crushed, whenever our inner beings are struggling, we need a support system. We need people with sober minds around us who will give us a lot of perspective to say, chin up, focus. This is not the end of the world. We can do better and we can achieve whatever we intended to achieve, even with setbacks. We need people who will take us by the hand and lead us to a place where we gain our sanity back, because it is very important. Whenever we struggle with things, a lot of times we lose perspective, we lose sanity, and we go into a very serious, chaotic thinking patterns. Those are some of the things that we experience when we struggle with a lot of things. And we need somebody who can take us to a place where we can gain our sanity back. Many people end up hurting themselves. Those are something that usually happens. And many people end up losing the essence of life. We don't need to find ourselves getting to those levels. A lot of people end up losing the meaning of their lives. A lot of people end up losing even the reason or the reason for their existence. A lot of people end up losing even their purposes, why they are in existence in the first place. And a lot of people even lose the zeal to continue being alive. And in that case, a lot of people find it easier to hurt themselves or to hurt others instead of seeking counsel and instead of being in the right places where people can put perspective and we gain our sanity back. Refuse good advice and watch your plans fail. That is the reality of life. When you don't want to be advised on the good paths that we can take in life, definitely we are going to see our plans fail. And we take good counsel, we watch ourselves succeed. Plans go wrong for lack of advices, and many good advices will bring success. That's the reality of life. We need to understand that whenever we refuse counsel, whenever we refuse good advices, we are definitely going to fail in a lot of things. And whenever we have good counsel around us, we are going to succeed in our endeavors, in the things that we want to succeed on. It is very important. Without counsel, purposes are disappointed. This is the reality that we live with. Without advices, without good advices, without people who have walked the walk, telling us that we can still get to where we want to get to, obviously purposes will be disappointed. What we desire to see in our lives will not materialize because we are not in the right mind and we are not doing what we need to do. We are derailed by the pressures and the disappointments. It is important to know that We need positive energies around us. We need people with sober minds. We need people who know what we need. We need people who have walked the walk. That's why we need to choose our counsel very well. We need to choose people who we hang around with very well, because those are the people that will shape us whenever we go through struggles. Those are the people who will show us the way when we need to see the way. When it is dark around us, we need the light bearers. We need people who can take us and show us the light at the end of the tunnel. Many people are deluded in thinking they are smarter than everybody else, and only to realize that life is multifaceted. There are so many fields in life, and there are so many expertise or specialties in life, and there is no person who can say they are good at everything. They will just be deluding themselves. We are not jack of all trades. We can't know everything. We can't have information for everything. From here and there, we will need to consult experts to give us their opinions, so that at least we'll be making decisions closer to the truth. That is very critical. That is what is real about life. Every now and then, we need the opinion of people who have walked the walk, people who have trodden the path we are working on, and all that. So those are some of the things that we really need to gain perspective on. We can actually do better when we are surrounded by the right people, the people who have the right information, the people who know, people who have walked the path we are working on. Those are the people that we need to surround ourselves with. With good counsel, we will succeed in everything we do. And in our struggles, we can turn things around when we are given the heads up and when we are given the hints to say, when you feel that way, it's okay. Tomorrow will be feeling different. We need good people around us. We need good counsel around us. We need people with clear and good perspective around us. Smart people surround themselves with smart brains. This is the very important thing. And like minds group together to form masterminds. So who push each other to greater heights. If you want to be smart, if you want to reach certain levels in life, you need to go out on a lookout for smart people, for smart brains, people who you can engage with and they can push you to greater heights. We need people around us who we can engage in intelligent discussions with which we can influence our decisions for the better. We need people who we can sit around and we talk about important things. We talk about things that can change our lives. People who are going to push us, people who are going to challenge us, people who are going to engage us in intelligent talks. We need those kind of people, and we need those kind of people around us. It is very important for us to have that being very clear in our heads. It is important to have wise people around us. Wise people will definitely sharpen us and take out the edgy stuff out of our lives so that we can be smooth and oiled machines. It is very important for us to be in a position where we can grind and we can push on and forge on. And we become better with time. We can do ourselves justice in life by seeing the value of good counsel We can do ourselves enough justice by surrounding ourselves with the smart brains and smart people who can challenge us and get us to where we want to get to. And in conclusion, we reduce mistakes to manageable minimum in the presence of good counsel. We become a little bit unerratic when we have surrounded ourselves with good counsel. People who are going to show us the blind spots, people who are going to show us the pit holes that are before us and things like that. We need to understand that we can be erratic. We are fallible as human beings. We do mistakes. But when we are surrounded by good counsel, we reduce that to manageable minimum. Without good counsel, purposes are for sure disappointed. And that's not what we want in life. We don't want our purposes to be disappointed. We don't want our lives to end up being nothing. We don't want to end up being failures. But we can only achieve that when we have surrounded ourselves with good counsel. Without good counsel, purposes are going to be disappointed. Our lives are going to be a disappointment. And we don't deserve that out of life. And no one deserves to end up being a failure. We need to do everything in our power to make sure our lives count for something. We really need to see our purposes fulfilled. We need to see our lives come to fruition. It is very important. We need to succeed in our purposes, and everything we do should yield good results. And we can only come to that when we have surrounded ourselves with good counsel, when we have surrounded ourselves with people who understand what it takes to be you. People who are sharing the same vision and the same views or the same light with where you really want to go to. It is very important for us to understand that we need to see our purposes fulfilled. We need to see our lives come to fruition. It is very important for us to come to that. It is important again for us to have the right perspective. We need wisdom to be able to choose correctly the people we surround ourselves with, who are good enough to have positive influence in our lives and being able to push us to greater heights. We need wisdom to choose correctly the people that can surround our lives, people who can speak positively, the things that can push us to the heights that we want to reach. People who are going to give us the tip-offs and the heads up on the life that we want to scale up to. It is very important for us to be wise enough to surround ourselves with the right people. It is important for us to be wise enough to choose good counsel. It is wise enough for us to be able to look for the right information that will add value into our lives and that will add value into what we want to achieve. We can do that and we can achieve whatever we want to achieve. Our purposes can come to fruition only if we admit to the fact that we need good counsel around ourselves. Thank you very much.